I really like the Attack Shark R6, but I can't recommend that you buy one. Hi, my name is Benz and I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege for over 6 years now. I've gone through a lot of mice and this is the first time I took a dive in the ultralight market. So here are my impressions. So to start off with the good things about this mouse, the shape is very nice for me personally. The hump on this mouse is towards the back, which makes it very well suited for claw grip for my hands, which are 17 by 10 centimeters. If you have larger hands, you can also fingertip this mouse. I honestly think this is one of the better shapes out there that a lot of people will like. If you like smaller mice, this might be worth checking out. That is if the rest of this video doesn't end up putting you off the mouse. It also comes in at 40 grams, which is insanely light. Previously, I was using a Cooler Master MM712, which is right here. This mouse is about 60 grams and the difference is day and night. It is day and night. Now, how does this translate to actual gameplay? Once you've gone around the 60 gram mark, I honestly don't think it makes that big of a difference. Sometimes I even think it's even too light for me. This, however, also does 8000 Hz wireless, which sounds great on paper, but as we all know, 8000 Hz is a complete meme. I've been using this mouse for about 2 weeks now, and I have noticed no noticeable performance difference that I would ever attribute to the 8000 Hz polling rate. If you're looking for a mouse with a high polling rate, I can tell you right now, if you haven't tried yet, you're not missing out on much. Everything above 1000 Hz is pretty much just marketing gimmicks, and it's just not worth your time or money. This mouse also comes with grip tape. As you can see, I've already applied it here. It's actually very nice grip tape. My MM712 also came with grip tape from factory, but this is much nicer than the one Cooler Master provided. It's got a very nice texture. It actually helps with grip, unlike the Cooler Master one, which was just a lot smoother and, well, kind of useless, to be honest. So that's definitely a positive about this mouse. If your hands get sweaty or you live in a place with high humidity, I'd say gripping this mouse is probably not something you'll need to be concerned with. It's also built very well. I'm gonna hold it right up against my microphone, give it a good squeeze test. So this is from the sides. You can hear absolutely nothing. From the bottom, there's a little bit of creaking, but it's not something you're ever gonna notice. I'm gonna give you a sound test of the buttons really quickly as well. So this is left click, right click, scroll wheel, and the side buttons as well. These feel pretty good to me. I don't have any complaints. There's not a lot of pre or post travel on the main clicks, which is to be expected on a modern mouse. This is also adjustable in the software. As far as the software is concerned, it's pretty bare bones. There's really nothing too special about it. You can adjust your debounce time, your lift-off distance, and your polling rate as well. You can choose between 3 different profiles, and you can also choose when the mouse goes to sleep. So it's fine. It ranges, the DPI ranges from 50 to 42,000, which is far more than anyone will ever need. I just keep mine at 800. But there are some things about this mouse that are not just letdowns, but they are straight infuriating. Now, if you looked closely enough, you will see that there is no DPI button on this mouse whatsoever, meaning each time you want to change the DPI, you have to go into the software. This is where it usually is. This is not a button. This is not a button. This is where it is on my MM712. On the bottom, it works. I don't know why on earth Attack Shark just decided to leave off the DPI button. Also, there is no button to switch polling rates. You have to use the software because this does come with 1000 Hz as preset. I don't understand why, especially seeing as how the industry at large is just seeming to go towards a lot more plug and play type of setup where you can just plug the mouse in, adjust everything on board and just use it as you prefer. So that's definitely a low point about this mouse. the software is pretty much mandatory if you want to adjust anything. Also, they do provide you a spare set of skates. If you've noticed, I've ripped off the stock skates and I have replaced them with X-Ray Pad Jade Dots. Now, why have I done this? It's because these skates, these skates that come with the mouse are the single worst mouse skates I have ever tried on a mouse. They are unbelievably scratchy and the edges are not even rounded, which is just beyond unacceptable for a mouse of not only this price range but of modern day. You would expect this on a mouse from, say, 10 years ago, but from a mouse in 2025, it's just unacceptable. And the fact that it costs £55 or $75 and you have to spend an extra tenner on skates it just makes what looked like a very good budget mouse not budget whatsoever. This is just not something that you should buy unless you already have or are planning to get some aftermarket skates. Now, as for the charging cable, this is it. You plug this into the dongle and this is the cable you would use if you need to charge it. Now, I don't know how well this comes across on camera, but this is one of the stiffest cables I have ever tried. Not just on a gaming mouse, but just the stiffest cable for fucking anything. It's horrible. It's unusable. Seriously, even in a bungee, it's horrendous. Because the mouse is so light, it will just drag your mouse around if you don't give it enough slack. It's just not good whatsoever. By comparison, the charging cable that came with my MM712 is nothing to write home about, but it is leaps and bounds. It is absolutely leaps and bounds ahead. So using this mouse to play when it's charging is also a no-go. Additionally, this is more of a personal preference thing, but the sensor position is in the middle, and I got used to the MM712 sensor being much more towards the front, a lot more aggressively positioned, which does help if you're a claw grip wrist aimer, right? The adjustments are just a little easier to make, in my opinion. So it's more of a personal preference thing. It might not be a deal breaker for everyone, and it's not a deal breaker for me either. The rest of this mouse is pretty horrible as it is. So those are the reasons why I just can't recommend that you buy one of these mice. If they were to drop the price to, say, £30, I would say get one. For 15 to 20 quid less than this mouse costs, this would be a steal. But for this price range, there is just absolutely nothing about this mouse that makes it really worth it, unless you're super crazy about the 40 gram thing. The MM712 is pretty much the exact same price on Amazon. It does come in heavier, but again, me personally, I don't think you're going to see much of a difference between 60 grams and 40 grams in terms of performance. I haven't anyway, but maybe that's just because I'm a shit player. There are only two ways I could recommend you get this mouse. One is if they were to practically cut the price in half, which is probably not going to happen. Two is if they actually just did some goddamn quality assurance. And we must remember that Attack Shark as a company are pretty new on the scene. They're kind of unknown. There's not that much coverage about them on YouTube yet. But honestly, this mouse has potential. As I said, the shape is great. The switches are just fine, honestly, no problem. The weight is great, but everything else that concerns just everyday usability of this mouse is just a complete letdown, and I would not get one.